What we've got coming up next is a friend of mine who's a local poet called CUTCHEY. Poetry wouldn't usually be my kind of thing, but I've heard a lot of Mike's poetry and it's very funny and it's very witty. And Mike, like Magellan, I know through local theatre, Mike has a bit of almost an aura, yeah. It can be called that. Mike tends to play typecasting as a rule. It involves a lot of shouting in a Brian Blessed type of style. It's usually, now that's not Mike as a person, but that's the kind of thing that Mike would usually end up doing on stage. I'd like to welcome him to the stage now. For about 10 minutes or so, we'll take a quick break before Svavar. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, the local poet playing to his first non-poetry audience, CUTCHEY.
I saw an angel once. Oh yes. But not some cherub with rosy cheeks and bow or harp, but a real angel. A fractal being, ever reflecting within itself, with 1,000 golden eyes blazing like suns. It spoke to me. Spoke in choral Enochian tongues, older than the very tapestry of creation. It said, "When the time is right, we will impart unto you everything that your heart yearns for. But not yet, for you are still impure." Thank you. I am a poet, an actor, a regular goth weirdo, Dracula impersonator. So I also have done a lot of poems, and I've got a few for you here tonight. This second poem is about one of my favourite animals. Let's see if you can guess which one. Many look at you with disdain, regarding your black fur and glinting eyes as a portent of doom. You wear the burden of your forefathers, the harbingers of a scourge that brought Europa to its knees. Ever since, you have been maligned, banished, branded vermin. No matter how, they will always call you filthy, no matter how much you wash or preen. But some of us see the glint of innocence in those beady little eyes. Some of us find joy in your mischief, and we will always look upon you with fondness. My dearest friend, the humble rat. Thank you. Now, when I was growing up, I watched a lot of creature features from the 1960s and films like Earth vs. the Flying Saucers. And the one thing that always intrigued me was the trailers for these films had this very staccato, melodramatic delivery. "You won't believe your eyes!" and such like that. But this is a poem in the form of a trailer for one of those films. So this is The Death Saucers from Space! From out of nowhere they came, siving across the sky like a plague of titanic locusts, descending from the sidereal ether. Each is decked in a livery of blackened chrome, neon blues and blood crimson. Their death rays light up the midnight sky, turning the innocent to ash. But nothing stands in their way, no chance to parley or surrender. Their goals are as alien and unknown as the instruments of our demise. Landmarks that have stood for centuries now lie ablaze. The very tenets of modern society, all but destroyed in less than one day. The done that bit. All that's left is to cower, cold and afraid, in the darkest corners, trying to find hope, as all mankind's progress is dutifully erased by, say it with me, the death sources from space. Thank you. Has anyone ever had a dream with a famous person in it?
Yes.
Not like that. This is a dream I had which involved a famous American poet. This is Dreaming with Bukowski. In my sleep, I am sitting in a garden talking to Charles Bukowski. He asks me, rather bluntly, why the fuck haven't you written anything? I shrug. I say, oh, I get no pleasure in others reading my work. He scoffs. Then you must be a pretty shitty poet if you're that scared. I shrug again. Just let people see that. Just get that shit out there and let people judge for yourselves if you're a hack or not, he says, between drags from a cigarette. I ask him how he is. Couldn't be better! Seriously, fuck being alive! Here I can drink all I want and I won't have to get a hangover. Then, out of nowhere, Oliver Reed walks by, pierces me with his eyes, and says, who is this dillweed? Nobody important. Two of my heroes, both drunkards while I am mostly sober. Both of them dead while I am alive. Fuck this guy. Come on, Ollie, let's go get pissed. I guess you should never meet your heroes. Even when they're buried. Even in your dreams.
Yeah.
Now on to a piece which I think bookends this quite nicely. This is a very personal poem. It goes to some dark places. It's a poem about the joys of despair, the pain of living, and waterfowl. This is the duck poem. Anatidophobia. Anatidophobia is derived from the Greek words fear, meaning phobos, meaning fear, and anatide, meaning ducks. Anatidophobia is the irrational and pervasive fear that you are, no matter what you're doing or where you are, being watched by a duck. Ah, that damn duck! Less like Churchill's black dog and more just an annoying little bastard, quacking away with his stupid face like he'd rather eat shit than bread. With those stupid little eyes, beady little things going in different directions. Okay, I know what you're thinking. What the hell is this weird goth prick talking about? Well, let us rewind. It is 2010, and I am having the worst psychotic episode of my life. I look out the window, and I cannot tell if it is night or day. I hear voices screaming at me in tongues I cannot understand. And there's something inside. Something moving. Maggots. In my heart, in my head. All over. There's only one way out. I stagger as if in the fugue of dream to the bathroom to find the bleach. I pick it up. It feels heavy. Like the weight of a tombstone. Of my tombstone. The weight of a life ended. I unscrew the cap. And I raise this chalice of liquid oblivion to my lips. And then I pause. I look at the label. Toilet duck. Toilet duck. A thought lances through my despair. There is no sodding way that the epitaph on my tombstone will say that I was killed by a duck, toilet or otherwise. The absurdity of my situation hits me full force. I laughed so hard I could cry if I wasn't crying already. I lower the bottle and I tip that fucking duck into the toilet where it belongs. I squeeze the life, no, I squeeze the death out of that damn duck and watch it dissipate in that immaculate white porcelain. And now it is the duck that is slain, not I! And now, whenever I see this quacking spectre of my past, I laugh and I joke and I thank God and all the angels